Okay, this is going to give you a little overview of where this wisdom comes from. Now, this is super important. So, we believe that God gave the Bible to Moses. In fact, that's believed by the majority of the world. Now, the thing is that in the Bible, and this is a very, very big subject, but I'm just going to get to some simple points, which is very, very core and critical. In the Bible, there are actually 4 layers of interpretation, but generally speaking, we can call it the body and the soul. In the last talk, we spoke about that we all have a body and a soul. Well, even spirituality, even the Bible, the Torah, the wisdom, the divine wisdom has a body and a soul. So what you read is only the body. Just like you see me, you don't know my soul. Maybe you're learning a little bit about me as you interact, but as we get to know each other better and better, you get to know my soul better. So even though the wisdom, the fundamental idea, let's say the laws, keep the Sabbath, etc., was always known, the body of Judaism, but the soul was called also the secret. It was passed down in secret, and only the greatest scholars learned it in every generation. We're talking super amazing, smart scholars. You know, Jews are known to be wise, but we're talking about the people, the rabbis. They were the wisest of the wise. Just to give you an example, in order to be part of the Sanhedrin, the Supreme Court of 71 judges, they had to know 70 languages. So we're not talking regular people here. Now, this secret wisdom was written down first about 2,000 years after it was given, because the Bible was transmitted orally in the book called the Zohar. It's become very popular. It's become a lot of people into Kabbalah. But the Zohar itself, in a way, even though I'm a bit of a scholar in Jewish mysticism, I don't study the Zohar. It's quite esoteric. You can't really study it without a master, without a guide. However, 300 years ago, a great soul, one of the greatest Jewish saints ever, if not the greatest, came to the world. His name was Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov. And he revealed what we call a new wisdom called Hasidus. Now, Hasidus, in a way, I could almost call it Jewish mysticism for the layman. It's authentic. It's not dumbed down. But it's made in a way that the average mind that doesn't have all this, I'll give you an example. Einstein, he came up with the theory of relativity. They say only 12 people really know what the theory of relativity means. I may include myself because I think I understand it. It just means that everything is relative. But when Einstein came to explain that to people, his famous line was, 1 minute sitting on a stove feels like an hour, and 1 hour having a nice conversation feels like a minute. So in other words, he was explaining the concept of the experience of time being a relative experience. So obviously, now if you look at the actual theory of relativity, which I did, I read a book from Einstein called Out of My Later Years. Not that I understand the math, but it's like very simple to him. It's a page and a half of math, E equals MC squared. Now, if you understand that kind of math and you have that kind of brain, it's very simple. So there are certain types of kind of fundamental ideas. If your brain works at this frequency, it's simple. So the Baal Shem Tov took these high premises and he brought them right down to us. So my friends, the Baal Shem Tov, after 50 years of his passing, half of European Jewry were already his disciples. The greatest rabbis, the greatest scholars, they all, till this very day, drink thirstily from his wisdom. I want to give myself a little bit of credibility. I translated a book. I'm in the process of translating another book called Sayings of the Baal Shem Tov. You get that on Amazon. Amazing, amazing stuff. Over 850 sayings. It's mind-blowing. The depth of the wisdom. The science is barely catching up now to things that he said 300 years ago, barely catching up to his wisdom. That's in the quantum physics realm. But in the psychological realm, he is so far ahead of where we are scientifically. And so this is a little introduction to the very foundation of this book. At the very end, I will explain how this whole book is based on his motto, how to live life. And he was a very happy man, inspired millions of people. Literally, he transformed the world. These people are the people that really went on to inspire the whole world. And if you just listen, stay with me here, take the advice, you will be one of the Baal Shem Tovs. We call it Hasidim, disciples, the ability to really, really energize this world positively. So keep with me. Thank you so much.